Wolfpack Wrestling fans, episode number 141 of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. I'm your co-host, Brian Reinhardt. Special surprise today. It might have been since last March, but we found him. Not up at WB, as you can tell. He's in the home office today. I like the posters.
Just like you. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, you're a smart man. The head coach of the Wolfpack, Pat Popolizio.
Your home office got a trophy back there.
I did. Got a trophy. I got the Nick Wisdowski bobblehead. Got a Ric Flair bobblehead. So
you're going to get another. If you make it in time, you'll probably get another bobblehead.
Oh, what a little tease there. I saw NC State's going to put out a Vinnie Robinson bobblehead.
Yep. You better get your season tickets in there.
Yeah, I'm still hoping for a free
stop texting me for tickets. Just let's open the wallet and buy one.
It's actually funny. I do text you for tickets. I need to text you for football tickets coming up. So
we'll see how good you do today.
Yeah. Wolfpack fans, I'm on the hunt for 2 Florida State football tickets, so help me out. But Pat, great to have you back.
You too, Brian. Good to see you.
It has been a little while. That must mean the season is underway. You guys were up at Virginia Tech last week, but now we're really getting into the thick of it. But before we mention current NC State stuff, have to go back. World Championships, Trent Hidley, unbelievable summer, unbelievable performance, winning that 92-kilogram world title. You were over in Croatia. What was the environment like? How proud of you of Trent, and just what a great accomplishment.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome experience, and to cap it off with the title, just made it even that much better. So I was happy for Trent, happy for the people who've been supporting this RTC, and the whole just plan came out, and it showed with the support system, the coaching, just the army of people behind him, and then he went out there and took care of business. But that trip, anytime you get an opportunity to go to the World Championships and support an athlete, I think is, it speaks for itself with the full circle of what you do for coaching. You want to get guys, obviously NCAA, and then guys that have goals to be world and Olympic champs. This is part of the process. So, being on that journey with Gwiz for a little bit, and now with Trent, it's just very rewarding to see an athlete accomplish his goals.
Trent's been back. He's been a very busy man. So Definitely get him back on this podcast here. I don't know if he remembers that he's a co-host.
Well, he's a podcast co-host. He's an analyst now for duels and tournaments. He's one of the best in the country. He's just got a great wealth of knowledge for the background of all the athletes, and obviously knows the sport as good as anyone. So he's going to be sought after, so I think your job is on the line personally, but we can talk about that at another time.
It's unbelievable. He, when he was a student athlete here, he got the best media training that I believe any program could have. So that SID back in the day really pumped him up, but
yeah, no, we were fortunate enough to have some good people helping him and training him. So it was good. Yeah, no, he's a rock star. Just valuable to have. He's such a great mentor to the athletes that we have on our current roster, and just the technical side of things he brings in the room. And then the alumni love him. He's just a hard guy not to really get behind and want to support. And I think that's been a huge part of all the success that we've been having and his personal success.
And definitely the story's not over yet. He's continuing on, and a lot of bigger and better things for him to accomplish. So it's going to be great to watch his journey. But we're going to be watching the journey of the NC State wrestling team upcoming. Saturday night, 6 o'clock, the return into Reynolds Coliseum. Northern Colorado is coming into town. It's your home opener, first duel. Northern Colorado, first-year head coach and Coach Ware. They had 2 All-Americans last year, but they both got poached by another program in the offseason. So UNC, they're a young squad. A lot of guys trying to establish themselves in the lineup. So they're going to come in and fight. But for you coaching staffs, you guys have got to want to see your guys against other competition. So this is a great opportunity. Pat, I got to ask you, how did this duel come together? Because this is a new team you guys really haven't faced before. And what kind of excitement is this coaching staff looking forward to?
Yeah, no, one, it's great to have a home opener this early in the season. I know you were one of the complaints from last year that we started a little late. So we took note of that, and we're just thankful that they were willing and able to come in and compete. They do have a younger team, but, I think that's valuable experience to compete on the road in an environment that we have. And I think, people that recognize that usually grow towards the end of the year. So it was good, and I think before all this stuff went down in their lineup that they could have had, we were talking before that. And then when the coaching change happened, I was just glad that they were able to stay with that commitment. We were late in the game, so trying to find another competition would have been tough. So it'll be good. It's exciting for the guys to have our home opener this Saturday, and really get guys down to weight and see some new competition. And I think that's most important right now. We've been training, since March till now with your current roster guys, and that can be a little tedious with time. So it's good. We're going to see some outside competition and get down to weight and let it all happen this Saturday at 6 p.m. in Reynolds.
Obviously, we're asking fans to be there early. A little special surprise. Going to see a national banner unveiled up in the rafters for Vinnie Robinson. So, going to be a cool event.
Yeah, no, it's always great. Anytime you can drop a banner down, that's a good thing to have in Reynolds. There's, quite a few good names in there. We're going to add one. So excited to get that going.
It's great getting crowded up there in the rafters. So that's always a positive. All right, Pat, you haven't been on the podcast for a while. We got to break down your roster. As always, we're getting funky. We're going to go in order, start at 125. Hope you're ready.
I am ready.
All right. I wrote down this stuff, so I might be reading a little bit here. But
that's all right. I have to take notes.
Yeah, I have a lot of good stats and all that. So returning national champion at 125, Vince Robinson. Cinderella story last year. He went from being a backup off a red shirt to winning the starting spot to winning the Pac's 9th national title in March. And this year, vastly different for him. He's a marked man, and 125 is just incredible. 6 of the 8 All-Americans from last year are returning, including all 4 semifinalists. So obviously, expectations are to get Vinny back Saturday night at the NCAAs, but what have you seen out of him this summer, and what kind of challenge is it being a returning national champion?
Yeah, I mean, again, you got to hit the reset button when you go into the season, and I think that's something that's been well communicated with him. Good news with Vinny, he's a very, very good competitor. So any challenge that lies ahead, he is up for, and he knows, he's going to get everyone's best match, and he's got to be really ready and mentally and physically, and the technical side of things. In time, you're always going to get better, and that's something, which is scary with him. He's already really technically sound. So adding a little bit of that, he's got to be ready for the mental and physical part of this repeat. The good news is we've had a guy do it before who's in our room quite a bit, Nick Wisdowski. So you have a very good high-level resource to, bounce ideas and questions, and someone that's been through it before. And those two guys have connected there, and I think it's going to help Vinny in the long run. And we got to take it week to week and not overlook anything. I think that's the biggest thing. You got to go through the process of this season. You're going to see some really good high-level guys, and just be ready every week and make your adjustments and get your hand raised.
133, we're going to see some change from the last couple of years. Zach Redding transferred to the Pac for his final season. He was out at Iowa State for 5 years. New York guy, so you're very well aware of him. But NCAA qualifier 2 past times, blood round 2013, but he hasn't been at 133 since the 2023 season, so it might be on a pitch count this year. He's been, in college wrestling for a while, but you also have another great option. There's going to be great competition. Redshirt junior Troy Homan, now back down to his natural weight. You guys had him up at 41 last year, but he's back at 33 this year. Had a good showing last week at the Southwest Open, and those two have just battled in the room, in wrestle-offs. So 133, you have 2 really good options so far.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Zach coming here and having the experiences that he does, I think is going to bring a lot to the table. He's shown that he can win against the best guys in the country. He's, had a lot of success in the lineup and going pretty far into the NCAA tournament. And then I like where we're at with Troy Holman. I think last weekend gave him a boost of confidence with some of the guys he was able to beat. And anytime you have 2 really good options, it motivates both guys to continue to get better. And it's a long season. And I just feel like in time, someone's going to separate themselves. And that's a good thing because they're both really good already. And if one of them can make that jump to, be where we need them to be towards the end of the year. We got to let those guys figure it out and give them all equal opportunities. That's our goal, and try to, do this the right way, having two guys that I respect tremendously and do everything right. And it's just at the end of the day, we got to make NC State wrestling the best team we possibly can, and so those two guys are going to help that in the long run. And yeah, I'm excited. And it wouldn't shock me if you have two good guys at one weight, and if you need them up in another weight, we can figure things out. And I think in time, all those guys are going to get some valuable experience to be ready come March.
After earning All-American honors and an ACC title in 2024, Ryan Jack returns to the PAX lineup after he redshirted last year. He's at his forever weight of 141. The weight class, it might be the best in the country. You have a reigning two-time national champion, and there might be 12 former All-Americans at 141 this year with all the movement there is.
Yeah.
But you know what you have in Ryan Jack, but we haven't seen him for a year. So what are expectations kind of going in for his final season?
Well, the good news is I think a lot of people forget about him and how good and talented, and he has placed at the NCAA tournament and has some really high-level wins. So that, I think that's a good thing. Makes it dangerous for a guy like that to go out and compete. He is super skilled, very offensive, and you got another year of maturity under your belt. So I think that's going to help him tremendously this season. But I think the sky's the limit for a guy. Anytime you're a returning All-American, the next goal for you should be winning a national title. And he's got to put himself in position to do that. And the way you do that is going out and winning against the best guys in the country. And our schedule is going to allow him to see, we got a date on the schedule with a returning national champ. And, in those national duels, you're going to run into somebody that's extremely talented and accomplished as well. So in due time, Ryan Jack's going to have his opportunities to compete and beat the best guys in the country. And he's got to show up and do it, and that's, I think, the biggest thing this year for him is let's not talk about it. Let's just go out, do it, and execute and prove that you're one of the best guys in the country.
149. And it's a good thing you didn't text me back last week, because now we can talk about this guy and a little bit of results from this past weekend. So,
yeah,
I'm
sorry. I was a day late.
Yeah.
You were watching Sunday football while we were in the gym all day.
But you realize I don't text. I only text one phone. I only text you once. I don't bug you. So
no.
Sometimes
and we got
I get a
bottom line is we're here recording, so it worked out.
Yeah, that's fine. We're recording right now, so we shouldn't be talking behind the scenes.
It's Wednesday, and you text me Tuesday, so 24 hours. We got it done.
We're good. 149. Oh, I'm going to continue to mess up his name, and I continue to apologize.
I can. You want me to say it for you?
Yeah, let's go.
Coy Bizkins.
All right, we got Coy Bizkins. His dad is going to be very happy. We finally nailed it. But he was an NCAA qualifier last year. Very tough to score on. You guys really motivated him and pushed him to work on his offense in the offseason. And last week, he had probably the best performance from you guys, a top 10 win, won his bracket at the Southeast Open. And fans really want to see Coy take that next step. Have you seen him take that next step over the past summer?
I think we have. I like what I've seen in the summertime with him. He's made some huge gains mentally and physically. And we always knew that he could wrestle, and he has the technique behind it and the mindset to be great. And it's tough, anytime you're a freshman in our lineup and, expectations are there, it's a tough challenge. But once you get a year under your belt, what's at stake, and what needs to be done. And I think the growth that he's made showed last weekend. He's going to have a great opportunity all year to wrestle some of the best guys in the country. And he's so skilled and has a really good style for college. He's really good on top. He's explosive. He's in great shape, and he's a smart kid. So those things correlate to a lot of success, and we just got to get him. Our goal is to put the points on the board, and the more points he scores, the more dangerous he becomes. And I think that's the biggest thing through the season, is watching him separate some of those matches, because he has the tools, not to win 4-2, but go out there and win, with a major decision. And I think that's going to be some of the growth that we're going to look for this year is, go out and let's get a major decision and not keep this match in striking distance for anyone that you're competing against. And I week to week, the confidence will keep building with a guy like that. So I'm excited to see, how things play out for him this season. But I'm really happy and pleased where he's at to start this year.
A second 2024 ACC champion to be coming off redshirt, Jackson Arrington. He's now up at 157 after competing at 149 his first couple of years. But Jackson, he's been one win shy of All-American honors in each of his first 2 trips. And I know he's extremely motivated because the rankings don't have him as high as he probably should be. So we're looking forward to seeing Jackson up a weight class this year.
Yeah, he again another guy that got the red shirt last year. We went through those growing pains as a team, sitting Ryan and RJ, but having them back right now, more so on our side as coaches, the leadership that those guys bring to the table, that's something we were missing week to week. As spectators, you only see the matches, but we see a lot of leadership that we were missing last year that we have now this year between Vinny, RJ, Jackson, Isaac, and Maddie. I mean, we have it now. Those guys have valuable experience. The leadership that Jackson brings, his mindset, how much of a competitor he is. And then you look at the growth from taking that redshirt year, doing a lot of freestyle. Yeah, sometimes those guys in the freestyle circuit, they're maybe not winning those tournaments, but they're beating nationally ranked guys who have won or become multiple All-Americans at the NCAA level that are post-grads now. And you build confidence off that. And I think that's something that Jackson was able to do on top of working on a lot of skill. So the growth was there, and now we got to go out, execute. And, it's going to be nice having him in our lineup. And I think we got a good combination with, RJ down at 41, Coy at 49, and Jack. Those are 3 guys right now that can compete with anyone in the country.
165 seems to be that one weight class for you guys. It's been kind of wide open. You're really looking forward to having your guys hit guys from other teams to see how they perform in competition. But right now, just 165, kind of what's going on there, and what do you envision going through the year with it?
I like where we're at. We got a true freshman, Will Denny, who was highly recruited coming out of high school. He won a lot. Was one of the top recruits in the country at his weight. He's put some good size on since he graduated high school, and he's a true 65-pounder. He's ahead of his time as far as the skill set goes when you have a true freshman. And he's just got to go out, wrestle confident, and know, the biggest thing when you're a true freshman wrestling in college, you don't have to wait to find out if you're good. You got to go out and do it. And that's going to be the biggest thing for him is not, you don't need to wait a week or 2 or, 4 or 5 competitions in and figure out, okay, I'm good enough. He needs to know right from the rip that he is good enough. He's got the best guys in the country to train with, and he's in there battling every day. He's a tough kid, smart kid, and very skilled. So I'm excited to, watch him as the season grows. And that's one thing with a true freshman, people got to be, you got to understand true freshmen make the biggest gains in the college level. So where he's at right now in November and where he's going to be at in March, you're going to see 2 different wrestlers. And that's going to be some of the growth that he's going to make through the year. But he's got a great attitude and ready to attack this season.
We're over halfway there. You hanging in there? You haven't done this for a while. Okay.
Yeah, you need a stretch.
No, I'm good. I thought I had something in my throat, so I was going to take a drink, but I know it's unprofessional to drink on a podcast.
Well, it's your podcast, though. You've watched a lot of them. You control the podcast.
We are the most unprofessional podcast around.
That's good, though. We got good views.
Yeah, I know. We need viewership. We need sponsorship. We need money. Let's go.
Well, that is true. You're hitting.
All right, back. Come on, focus. 174, Matty Singleton. He put together one of the best end-of-season runs for you guys last year. First year starter. He was 12-7 in February, but then went on to win an ACC title, All-American honors at the NCAAs. And in the ACC, 174 is perhaps the deepest weight class, 5 ranked in the preseason top 20. And if UVA makes a change, there could be 6 ranked wrestlers in that weight class. So Matty's not going to have an easy season, but the confidence that he had off of last year has got to really propel him for this season.
Yeah, and let's remember last year was Matty's first full year in our lineup. His freshman year, he only wrestled the 5 dates in ACC, so he never had a true season under his belt. And last year he got that. And again, the growth that you make when you're in the starting lineup all year, I think is really impactful for kids. And Matty took full advantage of that. Got hot at the end of the year, but that was more of a confidence and skill set on some of the mistakes he was making. And then you fast forward to this off season, him and Trent trained a ton together. So there is no better guy in the world to be training with to make you a better wrestler and a more competitor. And Maddie's already ultra competitive to begin with. And now, what he did this summer, I feel really good where he's going to be at when he goes to compete against the top guys in the country. He's really athletic, really skilled, great kid, and I think the sky's the limit for a guy like Matty Singleton. He's a very dangerous wrestler, and he's fun to watch. He can score from all positions. So it's going to be a great year for him. He's just got to go out, execute, and do the things that he's been working on. And having more confidence this year makes Matty more dangerous.
184, we kind of didn't know what was going on, but it looks like it's kind of, coming into fruition here of what's going on. But a returning face we haven't seen for a few years, Durham native Donald Cates. He spent 21 and 22 with you guys down at 165, but now he's back in the room at 84. You also have Andrew Machiavelli, younger brother of Michael. Obviously, he's coming down from 97. So a couple options there, but maybe a couple options fans aren't too familiar with.
Yeah, it's a weight class we need someone to step up at. That was a conversation with Cates. He had eligibility left and was, in a position where he could come back and wrestle, and having that conversation, I think it works out good for him. He got a little bit of time off, got to refocus and understand, this could be a really good thing for him and our program having him back, because he can wrestle and he's got a skill set and is won, when he's here, he's won some good matches for us. And now, being up a weight class or two is going to be an interesting thing, because he's big enough to handle the weight class. He's athletic enough. But it's a much needed weight that we need someone to step in and compete at and show that they can hang in there and beat some of the best guys in the country. And Cates is at that level right now. And again, you look in the room and who he's got to work with, he's going to be ready, and he's got a good skill set. So I'm excited to see him compete, and he's got to have the same mindset, which right now, I think from where he was at a year ago to now, he's in a really good spot mentally to go out and be able to compete with a great attitude and help this team.
197 was the only weight you guys didn't have a qualifier for last year. So 2 new faces have been added into the lineup. A late transfer from the Citadel, Patrick. Yep. How do you say Patrick's last name?
Brophy, like Brophy. Trophy.
Wow. Let's hope he win. We need him to win a trophy.
Yeah.
Patrick Brophy came from the Citadel. 2-year starter down there. He was an NCAA qualifier last year. Not eligible this first semester with you guys. He can still wrestle in opens and everything, but maybe hopefully get him on your roster in December. But you also have true freshman Carson Howe, top 100 recruit, 4-time state champion at South Carolina. So 2 new faces, a lot of competition there. It's going to take a little while for this weight to play out, but Carson has been with you guys all summer. Kaysen, man, you told me that before too.
It's all right. It's -1 now. You got a team point taken away.
All right. 22 minutes in, first mistake. I'll take it.
Team point.
That's a bad one. That's an illegal headlock right there.
No, that's a team point. That's not an individual point.
Team point. But Hal, he's been with you guys all summer, so he's gotten a lot of good competition in, and we're going to see him early in the year, another true freshman in your lineup.
Yeah, he's one of the hardest working kids we've got in the upper weights right now. He's committed to being really good. He's inexperienced. That's anytime you got a true freshman, they're inexperienced. But it's not going to be a lack of effort and a lack of skill and toughness. It's just going to be a lack of experience. So what's in his control is how hard he can wrestle and his determination and what he's been doing in the room and the practice and the time that he puts in. There's not a guy, that he is outworking him as far as time and skill, technique that he's working. And having Trent, Nick, every day that I walk in the room, he's in there with someone outside of our practice hours working on his skill set. So in time, no worries with Kaysen. He's going to be ready to roll. He's going to gain valuable experience this first semester. He's got the 5 dates, which are great for, being able to have that option to redshirt a kid if that's what we elect to do. And he's going to be needed and expected to go out and win these matches that he's going to see some good guys. and he's a competitor. So in due time, that'll work itself out. Brophy signed his financial aid agreement, so we can talk about him. He'll be here at semester. The exact date we'll not know until classes get transferred over here and our compliance certifies his grades and gets him cleared to wrestle. But he will be in our lineup and at some point. And another kid that I feel once he's in our room full time, he's going to make some big gains and already has some really good wins under his belt. And being able to work with Trent and Maddie and Gwiz and their coaching staff, I think he's going to make some huge gains in time and be a great asset for our program.
13th year senior Isaac Trumbull. He's up at heavyweight. He's probably as old as you right now. So, well, he's also married and has a kid on the way. So,
yeah, he's grown up fast in a year.
You remember when he came here as a freshman and he had that just the long hair and all that and just
it's been a different look. He's put on some weight too.
Yeah,
so he matured a lot.
Up at heavyweight, All-American honors. But he's also coming off a pretty big knee surgery and he was rehabbing all summer. So not quite sure when he's going to be full-time go, but final season, easily a national title threat.
Yeah, and again, I think you look at all the other weights and the highest place finishers. Isaac's the highest place finisher from last year at heavyweight, but it's fine. That to me would fuel and motivate me more than anything, the respect that people give him. And it's fine. We forget that he was in the Olympic trials finals with Kyle Snyder and has the most experience in the heavyweight field. So the good news is in our sport, the final rankings are going to come out in March, and I feel very good where he's at. He just got cleared to wrestle live this week, so he's made huge gains. He's super disciplined, very motivated. So anything that you have to do with the rehab, he's on top of it 110%, and his diet and everything that he's had to do this off season has fueled him and made him better. But health-wise, he's in a very good spot. We are going to err on the side of caution. To me, I'd rather have a guy like that win a national title than throw him in and compete to win a dual meet that, could set us back. So, dealing with Cody, our trainer, and the doctors, I think we have a really good plan, and we're going to have to be patient. Yeah, it's going to be a little frustrating first semester with not having certain guys in our lineup, but I can promise come second semester, we're going to have a team that's going to be very impactful.
Pat, this was fun. You got to come on your own podcast more often.
Yeah, we just make time for you. I know you're a busy guy.
Can I send over a calendar or something and put some dates on the book? I mean, what's going on?
I'm just glad I figured you're not working right now with everything that's shut down. So I'm just glad we were able to get to sneak you in on your personal time.
Well, I've never gotten a paycheck from you, so that has not affected my willingness to help the program out. So I'm still going strong here.
Good. But, you look good too.
Oh, thanks. It took you 28 minutes to say something about my personal appearance. Thank you. But it's exciting times. I mean, duels. I know Reynolds is just so fun and such an exciting environment, and fans love to pack it. So it's going to be an exciting weekend. Again, Saturday, Northern Colorado, come out to support the NC State wrestling team. Yes. Your home schedule this year, it's really, really turned out well.
Yeah, and that was, it's challenging to get organized and get teams to come into Reynolds just with everyone's schedule. But this year worked out having a lot of home dates that are in Reynolds. Rutgers and Morgan State are going to be close to Reynolds. It won't be in Reynolds, but it'll be, close enough where our fans locally can commute without having to travel too far. And then having, a dual meet at Duke. I think that's half our schedule in driving distance for a lot of people who come and support our matches. And I would just say at this point, if you haven't gotten season tickets, it would be a good time to get it because of the Vinny bobblehead raffle that you're able to win. And then on top of that, I do feel like towards the end of the year, our dual meets are going to be close to selling out. So don't wait and risk that. Let's get those in there now and make sure you have your ticket for these duels that are going to be pretty exciting.
Great promo. Get your season tickets. Pat wants you in Reynolds.
You bet.
Wolfpack wrestling fans, that's another episode of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. Hopefully we get Pat on more because he's really good at this and he really gives good insight. So Pat, thanks for your time. Again, Come out,
Thanks.
watch Wolfpack Wrestling. Until next time, go Pack.